She told me it is only one time cheating, but I found out the truth is. Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and click the notification bell so you won't miss another cheating story goes live. I'm 32 meters and my ex is 30F. She stayed in LA for a month to test drive living out there because she wants to move out of the state she was raised in. I flew out because it was her birthday as well. Her sister and I spent it together with her, but then I had to fly back the following day because of a wedding. I had no reason to ever be suspicious about anything, so her being in LA for a month did not bother me at all. After me and her sister left, she drove to San Diego to meet a guy 39 she used to work with. Apparently he was her mentor a couple of jobs ago. According to her, she drank more than she thought she would, then she woke up while they were having sex. She said that if he also didn't know what was going on, then she wasn't taken advantage of, so she asked and he said he didn't know how they got there either. They then finished up. After her trip was finished, I noticed that she wasn't as giddy to be around me anymore. Then one video chat in early November she asks me, "Do you think our relationship is in a good place?" I thought we were. Then she broke up with me there. She called me to come over so we can talk about it. Of course I begged. I asked what I did wrong. "I'll change." She just kept saying she fell out of love with me, we're not the right fit, that she's moved on. I was distraught, but hey. I told myself at least I didn't get cheated on like I did in my first relationship. We have been together for almost 9 years and she wanted to continue being best friends. We still got together some weeks in November to hang out and be intimate. I still spent time with her family for Thanksgiving and no one suspected a thing. I was content with what I had. I could still kind of be with her, but I knew this wasn't real. It wasn't until the week of 12 nights that she invited me for ramen. We had a plan. I'd get my booster, then head over and we'd finish the workday and then get ramen together. She took a nap and, for some reason, I felt compelled to look at her phone. She mentioned the week prior that she went on a group date and she may like the guy she paired up with. I got curious, so I looked through her phone and went to look at her messages with a friend I thought she'd tell her stories to. Turns out it was the guy, and she changed the guy's name to my ex's purely coincidental. Reading through the text destroyed me. I was completely gutted and I had no idea what to do. I woke her up and I asked her if she had sex with anybody else or if there was another guy, and she responded no. I caught her lying so many times that night. She tried to tell me that nothing happened until we broke up. When I kept scrolling through the texts, I shouted at her the dates of the texts and she eventually told the truth. And it turned out he was in town and they met many times and they got intimate many times as well. Even the night before I was there. A lot happened that Thursday night. And this is the first time in my entire life that I contemplated. I am getting help and I've been seeing a therapist. Her family knows. Her parents and her sisters are disappointed in her and they don't want to let me go. They're practically my family too. Lots of casualties with this one. The mother told her that if she's going to break it up with me, then she needs to break it up with the other guy too. Allegedly that's what she did. So anyways, the Sunday after D-Day, I see her again. I write up everything I want to say so I don't regret not saying it. At first the night was hostile. Then it turned nice. It got to the point where she was sitting on my lap and we were close and she asked me if I wanted to Marie Kondo our relationship. And what she meant by that was to hug it tight and say thank you and let it go. Of course. If there's any semblance of normalcy or even happiness, I'd want to do it. So I obliged. I planned many dates for the following weekend which went well. And we ended that weekend by constantly kissing and telling each other we love each other. It was very confusing. Then comes Christmas. I was lonely. The mother texted me and asked what I was doing. I told her I was alone. Apparently she showed the text to my ex and she told her mother to invite me because I shouldn't be alone. Against my better judgment. I went. You know. Any semblance of happiness/normalcy I'll take. It was also another confusing time. She wore the necklace I gifted her, she wanted to be close to me all the time. But whenever I saw her on her phone, which was often, my mind would go crazy. She got upset that I was ignoring her, she sent me a text then stormed off. I found her in her sister's room and we had another talk. I guess it ended up with us having a truce for the night, but imagine getting upset that the person you stabbed repeatedly in the back was ignoring you. I tried to go home but she asked me to stay. I once again did. Nothing intimate happened but we were cuddling the whole time. I'm just so confused. I'm pretty sure she's just using me and she wants to have her cake and eat it too. Some info. In 2019 she asked for a break. This is also when she started talking to the guy. I am in no contact for at least 6 months, though she texts me every now and then. I try not to reply. She's also in therapy because she's sad for hurting people, including the guy, and so she can better herself. I know it's naive of me to think she isn't talking to the other guy. I don't really know what I want from posting this. I just know that I need an outlet. I'm sorry if the format isn't clean or if the timeline isn't making sense. My head isn't right and I haven't been right for a while now. Second story. Hey. I'm using a private account to remain anonymous. Friends use Reddit. My 30th partner, 30M, went out one night with his coworkers. I'm not very jealous, or I should say, I wasn't very jealous, but he assumed I was, so he told me it was strictly men. This night, he was out all night. I could not get a hold of him. He stumbled into the house around midnight, trashed. I was sobbing and upset. He didn't care. The next morning, I said we should discuss what happened and how it made me feel. I was upfront and honest, and he apologized. We went out to dinner, and talked a lot. The next day we went to dinner and talked. However, he was acting very odd. His body language was avoidant and he was very quiet. He then told me that at the bar, he made out with his coworker. I was crushed. I asked him why. He said, I don't know. I proceeded to give him an ultimatum, which maybe wasn't the best thing to do. I said if he wanted to work things out, he needed to find a new job right away, and cut off all contact with the person. He said no. He left that night. I never expected this. I trusted him fully. It was so upsetting to me, in a time where I was already fragile emotionally. The next morning, I asked him to come over and talk, and to bring his things home. His location was shared with me, so I knew he was with her. I spiraled pretty quickly and ended up in the ER. He was notified. I don't remember anything after that except for what happened after I came home. He said he told her to lose his number, and he stopped following her on social media. I made him show me her profile. I asked to see his messages. I asked so many details and he complied. He was sincerely apologetic. He's been open to talking about hard things. When I asked why he did that, he said he was just drunk, but also that he has been blaming me for the things that he's unsatisfied with. I don't get it. I pay my share, I take care of the house, and I'm generally very compassionate and supportive. He finally decided to get therapy because of this though. Despite he and I doing everything right, I'm still insanely jealous, paranoid, and angry. He expresses his remorse, and when I asked if he liked her, he said he didn't even know her. When I asked if he was attracted to her, he said no. He's pretty open about everything, but still very guarded. I don't know what to do. Here and there his body language makes me feel like he's hiding something. Or he'll smoke, which is his number one tell when something is bothering him. I don't like how this makes me feel. I don't know what to do. I could use some kind words and advice. I really want to work things out, but I am so scared. Edit, he refused to quit his job, not cut off contact with her. Thought I should clarify. He has been moved to a different department as well. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell for any future cheating stories.